Let me begin with something very bold. Now, most people are not stuck. They are simply living inside an answer that was never questioned. What do I mean by that? Answer, conclusion that you made in your mind, that is your answer, and you never questioned that. You know that we've made a lot of our judgments and conclusions and decisions so important that we are never willing to question them, and they are actually influencing us all the time. So even when we are stuck, it's because of them. So think about that. If you feel stuck in your career, if you feel stuck in your relationship, if you feel stuck with your team or in your business, if you feel stuck in the area of money or health or direction, it is never because you don't know what to do. It is because somewhere along the way you stopped asking new questions. And when questions stop, possibility collapses. See, what is the problem when you're stuck? You don't see any possibilities for action, no? So you stop. But actually you're stopping because you didn't ask any more questions at that time. You were living with your decisions and conclusions that were there in your mind at that moment when you were stuck, and that keeps you stuck. Stay with me, because today we are going to very gently dismantle the idea of being stuck without fixing it or forcing it or motivating anything. So take a long deep breath and say this to yourself: nothing is wrong with me. I deserve a life of ease, joy, and glory. Now, there is a science called ontology, which is the science of the study of the being of human beings. So let me give you an ontological insight about being stuck. So ontology says stuck is a state of being. It is not a problem. In ontology, we don't treat stuck as a problem. We see it as a way of being. That means you're being resigned, or you're being very, very certain that your way is the only way, or you're being very, very careful, or you're being over responsible, or you're being, this is how it is. Now here is a very, very important distinction for you. The moment you feel certain, you stop perceiving, or you perceive only in one way. You're putting limits to what is visible to you in terms of possibility. Now, certainty can be very ways. Now we are very certain, oh, this person is like that. We are very certain this situation will not change. That kind of certainty I'm talking about. Certainty that I'm right. So, certainty feels very safe, no? You feel safe being certain, mujhe pata hai, this is the way things are. But certainty is very expensive. It costs you a lot. You know what it costs you? It costs you your awareness. Your awareness, it costs you your creativity. It costs you choice in life. So let me ask you, where in your life you have decided already that this is the way it is, and stopped being curious? You stop trying to find out more, knowing more about the person or the situation. So where in your life have you already decided how it is and you've stopped being curious about it? Don't answer logically. Just notice what tightens up inside of you, in your body. You know, your mind loves being stuck. And your soul does not like you being stuck, by the way. Really? The mind actually likes being stuck. Why? Because stuck means you are with the familiar, You are with the predictable. You are with something that you can explain. You are with something that you can justify again and again. And the problem with the mind is you'd rather be right than to be free. Always wanting to be right. But your awareness, your consciousness, your being, they're not designed for repetition. They're designed for expansion. And here is the uncomfortable truth. When you say, I don't have a choice, you are usually protecting an identity. What identity? An identity like being the responsible one. Identity like I'm the good one, I'm the nice one. Or an identity which says I don't rock the boat, I don't challenge the situation. Or an identity which says I always know better than everybody else. And identities don't like questions. Identity likes to remain what they are. Some people call it ego also. Now, in the world of access consciousness, we say answers will close doors and questions will open worlds. Answers will solidify, questions will set you free, they will liberate you. Which one is better? To be liberated, huh? But we choose stuckness for some reason or the other. And the reason usually is I feel certain, even though I'm getting stuck. So most people wake up in the morning asking questions like, oh, how will I manage this? Or why is this happening to me? Or what's wrong with me? Now you'll say these are also questions, no? But I say these are not questions. They are conclusions in disguise. So the moment you say, how do I manage this? You are actually not asking, you're saying something is wrong. Now these kind of questions are not questions. They are conclusions which look like, or you disguise them. So let's shift the quality of the questions. That's where we're going to make a difference. Try this now. We'll do a clearing. What am I refusing to see? If I acknowledged it, it would create movement in my life. Let me repeat that once again. What am I refusing to see? That if I acknowledged it, it would create movement in my life. So whatever is coming up energetically, are you willing to drop and uncreate it now? Please do. Drop it. Everything that makes seeing uncomfortable, threatening, or unsafe, would I be willing to let it go, please? Yes? Then let it go. Everything that makes seeing uncomfortable, threatening, or unsafe, would I be willing to let it go? Yes? So let it go right now. And notice the lightness in your body. That is your awareness coming back. Change feels very hard. The most difficult thing to do is to change, isn't it? So the real reason change feels hard, people actually don't resist change. But there is resistance somewhere. They are resisting losing who they think they are. We have this solid point of view that I'm like this. That's called your identity, whatever you think you are. They resist losing that feeling, They don't want to change. They resist that, who they think they are. Because change will threaten your identity. If I change, who will I be? If I change, how will others see me? If I change, will I still belong? If I change, will I still be needed by people? So instead of changing, we stall. Like a stalled car, so we don't change and we call it stuck. But actually, what is it? It is self-protection. So in order to self-protect, we stay stuck. So let us reframe it. Just imagine, what if you are not stuck? What if you are not really stuck, but you are standing at the edge of a new self that has not been acknowledged yet? On the other side of the stuckness is a new you. But we are not willing to acknowledge that. So be with that for a while. So I'm going to give you one simple practice. You can use it today. Whenever you feel stuck, ask very, very gently, what else is possible here that I have not considered? I'll repeat that question. What else is possible here that I have not considered? Next question, what would I choose if I wasn't trying to maintain an image? We are trying to maintain an image in this world. So the question is, what would I choose if I was not trying to maintain an image? Third question, if this situation was here to serve me, to contribute to me, what might it be inviting into my life? That situation which we are resisting and getting stuck with, the question is, if this situation was here to serve me, what might it be inviting into my life? Now don't rush into the answer. Let the questions do their work. So I'll repeat the questions again and see what is coming up for you. What else is possible here that I have not considered? Whenever you're stuck, what else is possible here that I have not considered? What would I choose if I was not trying to maintain an image? If this situation here was to serve me, what might it be inviting into my life? And just I'll have you know one thing, real questions don't demand answers, they create awareness. So a good practice is to choose curiosity over your decisions and conclusions and the feeling of certainty. So don't try to fix your life. Instead of that, loosen your conclusions, soften your certainty, upgrade your questions, and remember, the quality of your life is directly related to the quality of the questions you are willing to live inside. Let me repeat that in case you missed it. The quality of your life is directly related to the quality of the questions you are willing to live inside. So if you're feeling paused in life, maybe life is simply asking you to ask some new questions. So let's create a new relationship with so-called stuckness. So take a deep breath. You are not behind, you are not broken, you are not stuck. You are in a moment of reorientation. And the way forward, my friends, is not effort, not motivation, not discipline. It is curiosity. Walk into your today with better questions and watch how life begins to answer in unexpected ways.